Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a pretty cool photography technique, and that is panning photography. Now the main principle of panning photography is that you track a subject and you take a dozen photographs whilst you are tracking, and what you should hopefully get is a really blurred background but your subject being tack sharp. Now the main ingredient for this type of photography is the shutter speed. Now usually I'll be using between a maximum of 1/50th of a second and a minimum of 1/4 of a second. Anything below that, your results are just going to be too blurry because you're going to be basically doing handheld long exposure whilst also tracking a subject. Now I've done this type of photography for Formula 1, for motorbiking, but you can also do it in cities as well. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going out doing some of this type of photography. I'm going to be giving you some hints and tricks throughout today's video, and hopefully by the end of it you can go out yourself, go and get some awesome results and share them using the hashtag CPPhotos. And by the end of today's video I will be looking through the hashtag and looking at a couple of your awesome photographs. Without any further delay, let's begin and let's go and get some great shots. So you join me in the city of York, and I've got my very expensive camera sitting on top of a very grimy and dirty dustbin. Probably shouldn't even have my hands on it, to be fair. I've got sanitizer, it'll be absolutely fine. But anyway, I'm in the city of York and I'm going to be going to a lot of different locations for this photography. I recommend visiting a variety of locations so you get different backgrounds, different subjects, different speeds, all that great stuff. And as well, the subjects don't need to be going that fast to get great results. Your subject could be maybe going 10 miles an hour, and with the nature of doing the panning technique and with the slower shutter speed, you should be able to get incredible results. Jesus Christ, he was going like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Yes, nailed it. Try and match their speed to a T, which can be harder, it takes some practice. Like that one, I missed a couple, but I think I've recovered it towards the end. One of the most important parts of this photography is tracking the subject. Now most of the time you'll be going from right to left to right, and what's really important within that is matching the speed of the subject perfectly. Say if it's a motorbike, it's a cyclist, it's a car, it's a bus, whatever, you need to try and judge and try and accurately get the focus and track the subject perfectly. Now I recommend as well using one center focus point. I keep my focus always in the center, focusing on the subject, so I know that my focus is going to be nailed when I am tracking it. It will take a lot of attempts to absolutely nail it. There's been a lot of failed attempts even today doing it. Once you get that shot nailed, you will know. This could be a good spot. I mean, I'm standing right in the middle of the road, but this could be a great area because I've got this like junction bit here. So that could be pretty cool. Oh, nice. Oh, that worked so well. Yeah, that is the shot. Shit, I'm in the way. So that's where you don't want to get run over. One thing worth mentioning with this type of photography as well, I'm absolutely in my right to be able to take photos of people in public places. The only condition is, as long as you are not making money from the photos of them or anything like that, you are absolutely fine. But in case anybody ever comes up to me and says to me, yo, could you delete that photograph? I'll just delete it straight away to save the hassle, to save the fuss. You will get probably a lot of people looking at you because obviously you're taking photos of them, their item, their property, their cars, whatever. But usually, you know, they won't have a second glance at it. They'll look at you for maybe a few seconds and then they'll move on with the rest of their day. So it can be a bit weird having a ton of people looking at you, but just own it, go with the flow, go with your own day, and the rest of people will get on with theirs just fine. Oh, it's a Porsche. I'm never going to be able to nail this. No. Damn it! You don't have to use an ND filter if you don't want to, but I just prefer using one for this type of photography because you can get that shallower depth field. For these photographs as well, I've been using only the 24-70. I've only been using this lens because it has the zoom range, so I can zoom out if I need to or zoom in. If I was going to be doing this at night, then I'd be using a 51.4 to use that f1.4 aperture to let as much light in as possible. So for this, I recommend using a zoom lens. Fucking nice. Fuck yes. That is exactly what... Ooh, that is a good shot. Also, when doing this photography, think about your subject, your background, everything like that. Certain car colours can blend very easily with the background and get lost. But if you have a very vibrant and contrasty colour there instead, it might allow that subject to stand out against the background and be even more eye-catching to the viewer. We've captured all the photography I think we need to capture today. I think we got some absolutely incredible results, so I'm going to head back and I'm going to start showing you how to add the motion blur onto one of the photographs through Photoshop. Let's go. So you join me back at my editing workstation and we're going to be editing this photograph right here where I'm going to be showing you the motion blur effect. I decided to choose this Porsche. I don't know what model it is to be exact apart from a GTS because most Porsches from the side look similar anyway. The owner, on the other hand, does not look like a happy chap. He looks frustrated, paranoid, and just annoyed. The Buckaroo should probably be concentrating on the road rather than looking at the photographer, but that's by the by. So I have already edited this photograph as well. I edited it using one of my presets. If you want to check them out for yourself, the link is in the description below. So with this photograph now edited, the first thing we need to do is go over to the image at the bottom here, right click and then go edit in Photoshop. With the photograph in Photoshop, I'm going to right click on the background layer and duplicate it and call the first one car layer. And then going to duplicate the layer again and call this one background effect layer. Now I've duplicated the image enough times, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to these lasso tools and choose the poly lasso tool. Then what I need to do is select around the whole vehicle. This will be the most time consuming part of this edit, but I find it's the best way of getting the most efficient motion blur onto the background and not on the subject itself. So let's, should we time lapse this or just jump? Now we've selected the outside of the car, the first thing we need to do on the background layer is just press delete. Now seemingly nothing has changed, but if we turn off the two other layers, we can see that the car itself has been deleted. We then need to click on the car layer, go onto the image, right click and then select inverse. This will then select the background rather than the car itself. On the car layer we then just delete, and it seems again nothing has happened, but if we turn off the two other layers, the car is the only thing remaining in that image. So now we need to go back onto the background layer with the inverse still on, go to filter, blur, motion blur, and then we get this effect and we can choose what we want it to look like. Now make sure the angle is on 0, don't change this because it will look really weird if the motion blur is going up but your car's going that way. So keep that on 0 and then choose what motion blur you want. And there we go, that's the effect done, and we can see how well it brings separation between the car and the background itself. Again, the lasso part is a little bit more frustrating. I think there is a alternative method, but this is the method I have always used and it always works well for me, and hopefully it works well for you as well. And I think this actually might be the thumbnail for today's video. But again, the driver, now he's going 1,000,000 miles an hour and literally isn't looking at the road. That is irresponsible. And as well, wouldn't it be a lot better if he was wearing a helmet? It would look so much more racy. I mean, I don't know why you would wear a helmet whilst on the road, but you know, each to their own. So before we end today's video, let's look through the hashtag CP photos and see what you guys have been capturing. So our first Bobby Dazzler of an image today is taken by Shaq Pics, and this is an incredible photograph. The first thing is those leading lines drew my eye all the way through the image, and I just love the nightscape, the colours, everything works so well with this photograph. It is absolutely fantastic. Great work, keep it up. thank you for using the hashtag. So our next photographs today are taken by Alvin, and wow, what can be said? These are absolutely incredible car shots. I love that you've done it at sunset to get the really nice golden glow, but I also just love the color grading on the photograph itself. It is absolutely incredible. You know, having the wheel turn just so it looks a little bit more, I know the word's a bit overused, but epic. The headlights, the whole car just looks epic. I love the back shot of it looking up. It's really well composed, and the final shot of it on the road is again just incredible. Really nice composition, really nice color grading, really nice shots, really great lighting. Amazing work. Keep it up, buddy. I love these photographs. So that's going to conclude today's video. I hope these tips and tricks have been helpful to you, so now you could go out and get some incredible photography yourself. If it was, make sure you hit the like button and maybe consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already, and turn on the bell icon so you're notified for whenever I release a new video. It'd be great to have you on board the channel, and it'd be deeply appreciated. And until next time, everyone, take care, keep creating, keep exploring, and keep inspiring. Peace!